This is my first reaction video to a statement of purpose, so let me know if I'm a bit too harsh or I'm a bit too easy. Thank you to the dozens of people who submitted their personal statements. This is honestly the first person who replied, so I just picked them. Let's call them Student S. And the only editing I've done so far is just to remove any personal references to anonymize the statement of purpose. Just quickly for the record, I have read maybe more than 1,000 personal statements, so I really do know what I'm talking about in terms of what they want versus what people mostly write. Anyway, I can see that we're starting off with a quote here, which is a very common thing to do. It's neither a good thing nor a bad thing, but it's okay. If you want to leave your footprints on the sands of time, do not drag your feet. Okay, fine. Standing at the present juncture of my life, when I look back, I see a running reel of some of my key accomplishments, setbacks. Okay, this sentence is not adding too much. It's a long sentence, and I think it could be massively condensed. So red is going to be stuff that we can edit. You could easily condense that to, there have been setbacks and joyful moments in my life. Okay, that's like 8 words compared to like 3 lines of an essay. You want to start off snappily, not with a long sentence like that. You want to capture their interest, not bore them to death. Remember, the first paragraph is the most important paragraph in my opinion. Carrying on. There hasn't been just one moment or circumstance that brought me to where I am today. Totally unnecessary. You can just edit that out. You don't need that at all. Okay? Rather, it's a collection of, this doesn't make grammatical sense. Rather, it's a collection of countless little moments. I guess you mean that brought you to where I am today. The thing is, the pronoun is unclear. You just edit out the first bit and just say countless little moments that have gradually guided the wheel of my life in this direction. But again, I don't like this. And actually, one more thing I want to mention is I can see from this being 2 pages that this personal statement is going to be too long. So if it sounds like I'm being harsh, actually I'm saving you room for you to talk about other stuff in your life, interesting stuff. Most of you write way too much and it needs to be edited down. So I would pretty much take out all that's in red. What is it really adding? Anyone can say that. Everyone can say they have setbacks. Everyone can say they have joyful memories. You're not really saying anything new here so far. I do, however, recall one moment that was instrumental in setting me on my path. Okay, so we don't need that intro, but you could start off with this. How about this? This is brilliant. Watching my parents' faces light up when they saw a picture of me in the local newspaper after I received top marks in my grade 10 board exams was a moment that helped define me. So I'm going to put this in green because this is a great intro. You could actually start here. Where is it? Watching. How about this is the start of your essay? And it just starts off immediately with something interesting. Rather than all this boring stuff in red where everyone can say that, the essay starts, watching my parents' faces light up when they saw a picture of me in the local newspaper when I received the best marks. You could say exceptional marks or top marks in my grade 10 board exams was a life-defining moment. Okay, much more exciting opening. They took great pride in this accomplishment. As a result, it has acted as a driving force in my pursuit of a respectable and rewarding stand in life. Okay, fine. Stand isn't really the right word. I think position, vocation, profession. Since then, I have been more than meticulous in fine-tuning my skill sets with exacting and unparalleled attention. Nice vocab there. I see what you're doing. A master's degree in computer science. I think that should be capital. Let's go back to red. It's going to be mostly red. Computer science capital is without doubt the next logical step towards my career ambitions. Okay, if you're going to mention career ambitions, you might want to say what those career ambitions are. My career ambitions in management of computer science or in a big tech company. Maybe mention the company you want to work for. Don't be vague. It will surely provide me with the opportunity to build on the valuable knowledge I have gained during my undergraduate studies and professional experience. You might want to say gained during my undergraduate studies and throughout my professional experiences, or with my professional experience. Needs an extra word there. Okay, not bad. Throughout my academic career, I have consistently received top grades. Okay, it's good to boast. In fact, with an overall grade point average of 9.8 in grade 10 and a percentage of 98.1, just write 98.1% rather than a percentage of, that's what I would do, in grades 11 and 12, I graduated at the top of my class. Nice. This assured my admission to NIT Andhra Pradesh, one of India's premier technical universities, for this. Nice. And I can confidently say that I lived up to my potential here by contributing considerably to our college's research projects and maintaining my academic rank in the top 10 percentile of my class. Just say in the top decile of my class. Decile means 10 percentile. So top decile of my class. So I really like this paragraph. Let me put it in green. Why do I like this paragraph? Because what these universities are looking for is a combination of originality, quantifiability, and responsibility. I'll go through each of those as I talk about the personal statement, but originality as in what makes you different, what makes you original. And this person is going for quite a traditional approach, which is just, I was at the top of my class. And it gives a reason for the person to think, yes, this goes in the acceptance pile. Because it's like, oh, they're different, they're stand out, they've been a standout academic performer. So you always want something that says originality, says that you're different from other people for a multiplicity of reasons. Also, this paragraph touches on responsibility by talking about contributing to research projects. They might want to mention that though. I don't know if later in the personal statement they're going to mention those contributions, but mentioning that says that they're a leader. They like to take responsibility and do things on their own initiative. So you really want to emphasize responsibility. And the other one was quantifiability. Don't just say stuff, give some numbers. Talk about how you boosted the profits of your company, how many sales you made, what grades you got in terms of if it's something you want to boast about, as this person has done. And it actually puts a number on it. So you're like, wow, okay, a 9.8 and a percentage of 98.1%. The people at this university, Texas A&M, that this person is applying to, might not necessarily know how good that is, but it stands out. This student S didn't just say, I did really well in my class. They actually gave grades, which is quantifiability. So those are the key themes I'm going to look out for: originality, quantifiability, responsibility. Okay, let's carry on. My experience at NIT AP allowed me to gain exposure to key computer science subjects such as this, and this, okay? Despite choosing this as my major, I have always held a fondness for software development. Nice. So I've been diligent in honing my skills by applying to regular courses. This is good. Extracurricular stuff. They love this. Going above and beyond what's expected of you. That's nice. The summer before I graduated, I attended an industry course in machine learning where, okay, so it's not where, it's in which. Because it's not a location. That course is not a location. It's something that you actually did. So I'm going to put that in red, change that to in which I learned how to code in Python and develop prediction models. In which I learned, this should be developed. I knew there's something wrong grammatically. Where I learned has got to be parallel to and developed. So learned and developed. You see, it has to be parallel. It can't be learned and develop. That doesn't make sense. Where I learned how to code and developed prediction models using supervised approaches. As part of the course, I created a simple assistant using Python libraries that can function like, okay, nice, and perform basic tasks such as taking notes, opening web browsers, and providing weather information. Impressive. This encounter it's not really an encounter. I wouldn't say encounter, it makes you sound too passive. Maybe this accomplishment, or this success, or this experience, if you want to be a bit more basic. Encounter is too passive. Has reaffirmed my fondness. Wait, this is in the past, right? The summer before I graduated, yeah. So you wouldn't say has, because that's like present tense. You'd say reaffirmed. This experience reaffirmed, because it's in the past. My fondness for the data-driven, that's one word with a hyphen in between, data-driven, not data-driven. World of computers. Wait, this encounter reaffirmed my fondness for the data-driven world of computers and to envision. Okay, bad grammar again, it's not parallel. Just like learned was not parallel to develop, reaffirmed is not parallel to envision. So you would need to change that to, let me think about this. This reaffirmed my fondness and helped me envision. Okay, see, it's ED and ED. This encounter reaffirmed and helped me to envision what a few lines of code. And it's parallel. At the moment, it's not parallel. This is grammar. You need to have a flawless personal statement in terms of grammar. It really sounds a lot better. What a few lines of code can achieve has simply added to my intrigue. Driven my obsession would be a bit more powerful. Added to my intrigue. Intrigue is like the word curiosity. It's quite a weak word for a personal statement. Or the word passion. I see that so much. Or interest. That's even worse. Furthermore, I always made sure to pay close attention to all the facets of my core academic field as well. You've already said furthermore, so you don't need the as well. You're repeating yourself. My final year major project, this, garnered a lot of praise from the ECE department. Now, you might want to be specific. Instead of just saying garnered a lot of praise, you might want to say received acclaim for its ingenuity or received acclaim for its technical prowess. Maybe a bit more specific. You don't have to do that. I just think it's a bit vague to say garnered a lot of praise. Moreover, the novel technique, as well as the successful results of our research, next page, have been published in the something. That's really good. Obviously, really impressive. Good to boast there. That's a real example. So well done on using that. Let me change this to green and highlight that because that was really good. So obviously being published is a great thing. Okay. Following graduation, it was my sincere belief. Okay, this is bad grammar. When you start off a sentence with a modifier, like following graduation, the thing that comes after that has to be the thing that followed the graduation. Let me give you an easier example. If I start off a sentence by saying, waking up at 5 a.m., comma, the next word has to be the thing that woke up at 5 a.m. So for example, waking up at 5 a.m., comma, Philip got a coffee. What would be bad would be waking up at 5 a.m., comma, it was my intention to have a good morning. Because then the word following the comma was it, which is not the thing that woke up at 5 a.m. So what follows graduation? Not the word it. So following graduation, I. That's what it needs to be. Following graduation, I believed. So take out this and say, I believed. That gaining relevant work experience would provide me with a broader perspective on the industry. Nice. Keeping with this idea, I joined so-and-so. Over the past 2 years here, I have gained invaluable experience and knowledge. Coming from the background of ECE, I had to endure a lot of initial setbacks. Okay, you're not really describing it though. You're just saying you endured setbacks. And endure is the wrong word. It makes you sound like you're suffering and in pain. Just, I faced a lot of setbacks. And say what the setbacks were. Say that you had to rewrite several pages of code that were left to you as a legacy code that weren't good enough. Say that you were given deadlines that you'd never experienced before under incredible time pressure. Say that you expected to work in a team of 5, but it's actually a team of 2. Give an example. It fleshes you out as a person. However, in no time at all, things began to click. I like that. A bit of personality coming out in the sentence. I'm going to put that in green because it just makes you sound more human. Less like a programmer. I'm joking. I soon transitioned from an inexperienced newcomer to being the sole owner of several complex features. Nice. And a dependable member of the team. Responsibility, sole owner, responsibility, fantastic. One of my most distinguished contributions to the team has been my initiative to adopt a unit test-driven development strategy. Okay, whenever you use that word driven, it has a hyphen. Just like you said data-driven, and that has a hyphen, that needs a hyphen. Unit test-driven needs a hyphen, so that should actually be in red with a hyphen here. As a result of this approach, we identified, I would say our team, just to be clear who the we is. Our team identified and eliminated critical vulnerabilities in the code prior to going live. Okay? Yeah, You might want to expand this example because why were there vulnerabilities anyway in the code? Is that not your responsibility? You might want to clarify that these vulnerabilities weren't your fault. Otherwise, it makes it sound like you're correcting your own mistake. So I'll just put there to clarify. It's not wrong, you just need a bit more detail. Another important milestone in my career was when. That's a bit weak. Another important milestone in my career occurred as something like that, not was when, occurred as I volunteered to work on mobile development projects. It was an exceptional learning opportunity for me and the team, which at the time had limited resources, greatly benefited from it. Yeah, so you're missing several words here. You need something like, and I greatly benefited from it, and we all greatly benefited from it. Missing words. My eagerness to learn new things is evident from this. Okay, but you haven't described at all here how you learn or what you learn. You just said that you learn, it was a learning opportunity, and your eagerness to learn is evident. This is probably one of the weakest parts of the essay. You can't just say, my eagerness to learn new things is evident. It's totally not evident. We have no idea what you're talking about. Show us what you learned and how you learnt it. Throughout my tenure at something, my achievements have been recognized by, this is great. In fact, I received numerous Star of the Month. Great, great, great. Award 4 times. Don't be modest. This is really good. An honor gifted to associates. Nice, nice. Overall, that's one word, not 2 words. It's not overall, it's overall. I can confidently say that my time at this has contributed significantly to my personal and professional development. Okay, cool. Despite being an academic, don't say despite. That makes it... the people reading this may be academics, and you're kind of insulting them by saying, despite being an academic. I know that you're going to say these other things like extracurricular, but don't put down academia. Maybe say something like, as well as being an academic. I have also participated in extracurricular activities to balance my scholastic life. 2 years consecutive, for 2 years consecutively, not just 2 years consecutively, for 2 years consecutively. I have served. If you're still serving, you say have. As the head of the ECU Department's Technical Association, where, again, it's not a place, so don't say where, I organised a variety of technical seminars, workshops and events. Having gained that experience, when the opportunity arose to lead the national level techno-cultural festival of this, as the student convener, I jumped at the chance. I found it both rewarding and educational to oversee a festival of such magnitude. Fantastic, this is really good. Responsibility and leadership and originality as well, actually, because it's a new thing. That's great. And it was an excellent opportunity for me to demonstrate my leadership skills in a formal setting. Fantastic. I can say without a doubt that this has helped me during my professional journey as well when I organised the monthly awards ceremony. Okay. This virtual recreation event in which I host around 300 associates, really good leadership. Really, really good. That's great. Okay, this paragraph is a lot better. Aside from the first 4 words, it's a lot better. Really good. At present, I'm looking for admission to a reputable academic institution where, so in which I can develop and strengthen my technical skills while sharing my own, not green, red. In which I can develop and strengthen my technical skills while sharing my own learning and experiences with my peers and freshmen. I like that. I like that you're going to talk about sharing and this color, you have to press choose. That's funny. I like that you're talking about sharing. That's really good because it makes you seem like a really good person. I'm sure you are. The Texas A&M University at College Station stands out as the best choice for me since it provides a combination of unique educational advantages. This is what I was going to say. I've noticed, because this is the last paragraph, that there's not enough about Texas A&M. Why that's a unique university for you and what are the courses that you look forward to joining. You talk about one thing here. Here I will receive an education that provides me with both the technical skills and intellectual discipline to flourish. That's quite a general statement though. And that's it. It's like literally from here down to here is all you talk about with Texas A&M. And it says to me that you haven't really done your research because you're just saying general things. It's reputable. You can share your learning. It's the best choice because it's unique. None of that says you've done any research. I want to see things like, what professor are you looking forward to working with? What extracurricular activities are you looking forward to joining and leading or setting up? What is it about the campus location? You don't have to have all of these. What unique selling points does it have? Google it, do some research. Which elective courses are you most hoping to join? You don't have to do all of these, but just pick a couple just to show off that you've done research. You're not just copy and pasting this essay to loads of other schools. They'll be offended by that. And to me, reading this, it doesn't seem like you've done your research on Texas A&M. It just seems like a generic choice. You've said they're reputable, but all of these are reputable. If you think that they're the most reputable, they've got an insane reputation, say that. Talk about how they finished second in all of America for X, Y, and Z. Give some details, quantifiability. All my life, I strive for greatness in every endeavor that I've ever explored. I would do I have rather than apostrophe I've. Try not to shorten it, just I have ever explored. And that is, rather than that's, that is exactly what I intend to maintain here as well. In closing, I would like to thank you sincerely for something your decision. Okay, nice. And hope to be admitted to that in that. Okay, so closing thoughts. I've gone through the individual wording, grammar, style, that kind of thing. Let's give you some overview thoughts. First of all, honestly, I would say that this is one of the better written I've seen. You might think that I'm pointing out quite a lot of mistakes, but honestly, I've seen way, way worse than this. And the fact that there are only maybe 20 grammar mistakes is actually really good for an essay. And your style, I can tell that you're ambitious, but seem like a nice person as well. So that's a really nice balance. Also, you've clearly achieved quite a few things academically, which is great. But some overall suggestions. If you cut out a lot of the stuff that I put in red, that should save quite a few words. And you might want to cut down even some of the stuff that I haven't put in red in terms of cutting down the wording and shortening it, because that will allow you some space to maybe make you a slightly more exciting candidate. Is there a particular sport you excel at, or volunteering that you've done? Anything that makes you sound a bit more original. As I say, the final paragraph needs a lot more specificity about Texas A&M. Show that you've done your research. Also, and we talked about this before, the first paragraph has to be a lot more exciting. A lot more exciting. And feel free to be personal. Obviously, this is my review that's going up on my channel, but for your final edit, Student S, feel free to open up the paragraph with even more personality. For example, you talk about the local newspaper, you can really add to the spice of the emotion by saying, this is a paper that I had read since the age of 8, and now I was seeing myself in that very same paper. You know, it's a bit like a movie, you want a bit more drama. But overall, very, very good. If you take up all of these suggestions, I think you've got a really good chance of getting in. Obviously, I also read your email, so your grades are good. And thank you for all your comments on my channel. And thank you to everyone also watching this. And I hope you can draw the lessons from my comments here for your own statement of purpose. And I do rely on feedback to know whether this is something that's useful to you or not. So if it has been useful, do let me know in the comments, and I will maybe make this a regular series. Either way, good luck to all candidates.